Good evening, my friends. Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you with another live CGC unboxing, guys. Not 4 boxes, 3 boxes. I changed my mind. We're doing 3 boxes tonight. 4 boxes don't work. It doesn't work. It takes too long. Guys, I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor. I'm an authorized CGC dealer. I'm also a presser, a comic book presser located way up in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. And like I just said, hey, we're doing a live CGC unboxing tonight. I also, we take questions. And I'm going to leave it up to you. Whatever you want to talk about today, we're going to talk about. I didn't have any one particular topic to discuss. So if there's something that's you just got to get off your chest, now's the time to do it, guys. Get on over to the chat room and leave your question there. By the way, you can only do that, though, if you are a subscriber. So what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. I'm giving away free modern grading through CGC. So, hey, can't ask for more than that. Guys, lots of events and news to share with you. You saw from that thumbnail before you came on here, this coming Monday up here in Canada is Canada Day. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to try it because I wanted to have kind of like a flea market / swap meet / sale at my shop, but not in my shop. I wanted it like in the parking lot, kind of like a flea market feel. So I've invited a few dealers that I know to come on by and set up right out of their cars or vans or whatever they might have. They'll bring, folding tables. They'll open them up and just throw the comics out. Kind of a fun, very informal way to sell some books and to trade books, whatever. And that's this coming Monday, July the 1st, Canada Day, from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. over at my shop in Oshawa at 90 Russet Avenue. I've invited so far about 6 or 7 dealers have agreed to come. Don't know how it's going to be. I might even ask my buddy Brian to come over and bring his hot dog stand and sell hot dogs there if you want to, for people to have a bite to eat at lunchtime. Anyway, it's very informal. And of course, the cost is free. Just come on by and enjoy yourself. And again, bring books if you want to trade or buy or whatever. A very informal way to do so. Again, this coming Monday. Also, I'm not sure if you saw it or not. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Tomorrow, I have 2 special guests coming to join me. We have Swaggle and the 9.9 Newsstand coming back to the channel tomorrow to talk about the year in review thus far. We're at the 6-month mark here in 2024, and I thought, who better to talk about what's been going on in the comic book world than those 2 gents, those 2 fine gents, and they'll be here tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, joining me, the Comic Doctor, to talk about just that. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you do remember that we're going live. And also remember that the Comic Doctor will be at Montreal Comic Con, next week. Holy cow, it's coming fast. So next week, I'll be at Montreal Comic Con meeting you if you happen to be at the con. I'll be taking submissions there. I'm also going to be offering my CGC Signature Series facilitator abilities there. Is that the word for it right now? I'm having lots of words. But if you're going to be there and you need signatures to be witnessed, I can arrange that for you. I'm going to go to my website tonight and explain exactly how you can go about doing that at the show. I don't anticipate a lot of submissions. I didn't really advertise it, but if you do want to have a signature from one of your favorite artists or celebrities, I can help you out in that department at Montreal Comic Con, and then again later at Fan Expo. But there's lots of time for that. Also this Saturday, yes, I'm going to be at the shop this Saturday from 11 o'clock till 2. So if you want to come by the shop on Saturday to drop off books for pressing, cleaning, and grading, or you just want to come by and say hi, come on by. I've also picked up a lot of really cool vintage toys. Lately, I've been assembling even more. So if you're into vintage toys, come on by. All right, that's it. Let's get to it. I'll get to the chat a little bit later. I want to get through these books. We've got almost 3 boxes to share with you. So let's get started right away. First off, we have, where the heck is it? There it is. We have a Dark Knight #1, signed by Frank Miller. Yes, the Frank Miller books are coming back. It's a 9.4. We also have a copy of X-Men 266 in a 9.2. And I have a 9.6 copy of Batman Who Laughs #1, Crane foil cover. Just checking for any cracks and what have you. Always got to check for those cracks. Always got to check for those cracks. We have a 3.5 copy of Peacemaker #1. Now, people, I think, sometimes get this confused. I think it's the original first appearance of Peacemaker. It's not. This is a Modern Comics reprint. Of course, the original came out in 1967. This is a 3.5 copy. We also have an Alpha Flight number 33. This one's a 95-cent Canadian price variant right there. Warren, if you're watching, there you go. No line through the UPC code. Oh, wow, another 9. What the heck's going on with this book? X-Men 141, 9.8, another 9. I've seen like 3 or 4 of these in 9.8. What is going on? They really like those books for some reason. Okay, I'm gonna go and pack these babies up because I've run out of room. I gotta go quick. I'm gonna try to go quicker, guys, because I got a lot of books to go through. I don't want to keep you guys here for an hour. Let's just keep going. Got a few 9.8s to share with you. Got a 9.8 copy of X-Men 266 right there. I'll keep that other X-Men 141 up there because it's a fantastic cover. We also have a 9.8 copy of Darkness #1, a Top Cow book. And that's also in a 9.8. Move my submission form over. We have a 9.6 copy of Brass #1 from Image Comics. Right there. And if you guys are into the, the Image or the Valiant or Dark Horse, I've got 2 boxes at the shop full of #1 issues. They're not that much money. So if you are interested in those, come on by the shop and have a look-see. We've got a 9.8 copy of Future State Superman Wonder Woman from 2021. It's a pretty cool cover. And a 9.8 as well. We also have an 8.5 copy. Now I've got a bunch of these at the shop. Purgatory #1, Chaos Comics, I think it is, right? And an 8.5. Then we got a Purgatory Prelude #1 and a 9.6. Right there. Be a hard copy to get in a 9.8 with that black cover, I'm sorry to say. And then we have a Wolverine #1. This one is signed by Frank Miller, Claremont, and Rubenstein. A 9.4 right there. And that's it for the signature series, I believe, in this batch. Now I will go over to the chat room and see who is in the house as I pack the rest of these guys up. Dave's here. He starts us off. How you doing, Dave? Good to see you. Nick says, hey, Doc, I hope you are doing well this evening. I guess I will start things off with a question. Okay, Nick, go for it, Nick. Do you know what happens when you provoke a Jedi Wookiee? I don't know what happens when you provoke a Jedi Wookiee. Absolutely nothing. He dies off screen, and we're told by the showrunner they didn't have the budget. Aren't these $180 million? And is it? I couldn't imagine an episode for the whole series. Yeah, what's up with that? Pretty bad, Nick. I guess my question answers your thumbnail question. Yeah, it's I haven't watched it. I didn't watch it. I said I'm tuning out, and I have tuned out. I'm not watching tonight's either. It is a train wreck that I do not wish to witness any longer. So for those of you who are just getting here now, the questions tonight are up to you. Whatever you want to talk about, we'll talk about. Nick wants to talk about the Acolyte, but unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I stopped watching it after episode 3. I gave up. The power of many. Yeah, enough of that. Done, and done. Now that box I just did went by really quickly because I'll tell you, that box was a magazine box. And it contains several of Logan's Pokemon books that he picked up. And unfortunately, we couldn't showcase them here at the show. But we got through that pretty quick. Oh, into box number 2. What do we have to start us off? We got a 9.8. Look, I'm not even joking, guys. First book was a 9.8. And it's a Voltron #1. Right there in a 9.8. Okay, another 9. I am pretty sure. Oh, I gotta check something. Hold on. I gotta check something really quick. Let me just check something really quick, guys. No, it's not those. Okay. It's not the ones, I don't think. Shoot. Okay. Not the ones. Thought it was, but it's not. Anyways, Wolverine #1 in a 9.8. I look at this book, and several months ago, and maybe you can recall, I sent out several copies of this that belonged to Chris, and he had ones with varying degrees of the Wolverine logo being in different orangey colors. This one's quite light, and he received one that looks, it came back, it looked exactly like this, and it came back like an 8.5, and they said that it was because it had like sun exposure or whatever. It looked exactly like this. Look at that. See, 9.8. What a bunch of hogwash. Anyways, there it is. I thought that might have been his, but I don't think it is. Oh wow, we got a few more 9.8s coming up here. Look at this. We got it. Oh wow, this is one you don't see in 9.8 too often, and it's a white pager. Origin and first appearance of the original Machine Man, called Mr. Machine, 2001: A Space Odyssey, number 8, in a 9.8 white. That's a really cool book to have in a 9.8. I would not mind that in my collection. And to go along with that, we also have the first appearance of Nova in a 9.8 as well. Nothing wrong with that. We've got a Game Boy comic from Valiant from 1990 in a 9.4. These came back really quick. I feel like I just sent these in like 2 weeks ago. Oh, wow, look at that. Holy jeez. Wow, someone's gonna be happy. A few more 9.8s, guys. 9.8, Legend of Zelda number 1. That's a pretty big book in a 9.8 right there. Now check this next one out. Wow, look at this. First appearance of Bullseye. 9.8 white pager. I don't know if this was a Kraken press. This one could have just been a raw book. I don't recall, but it's a pretty book, and it's a 9.8. I'll put that over there. So congratulations to whoever you are. Again, guys, I just opened this box before the show started. I don't know who the heck these belong to. But yeah, nothing wrong with that. Oh, another 9.8. Why not? We have a 9.8 copy of Thundercats number 1. Is that a Canadian price? No, it's a newsstand copy. We've got a 9.6 copy of Longshot number 1. Right there. Look at that. You see that? Oh, I showed you that before. Those ripples. I noticed a few guys on Facebook were complaining about that as well too. I find that is most noticeable on books from this vintage, from books like from the early 80s to the early 80s to like the late 80s. Those ripples there in that slab, for some reason. Okay, big hitter tonight. X-Men 130 in a 9.8 white pager. Another gorgeous X-Men book. Wow. Nice looking book. Let's go to the chat and I'll pack some of these guys away as we talk. Canada Canuck Comics Auction and Sales. It's easier just to say Warren. Hello all. Hello Doc. How you doing, Warren? What's up, Doc? Hey Mark, how you doing? Or Mike, sorry. Mike Heron, how you doing? Thanks for popping by tonight. Nick says, don't forget to hit that like button. People often do. 35 in the room right now watching the show and only 11 likes. Guys, please hit that like button. It does help a lot. And it doesn't take much effort. Just a little click of your index finger. Gord's here. How you doing, Gord? Kevin, hi. Can't wait for the con at your shop on Monday. Is it a con? Is it a con? I don't know if it's a con. Guys, if you're just getting here today and you are from the GTA and the Greater Toronto area, this is something I've wanted. Once I moved into this place, I noticed how big the parking lot is. And if you've been to my shop, it's kind of an industrial area. And I've got like an auto body guy beside me and I've got another mechanic beside me. So it's mostly automotive. And they're not open on the weekends, generally speaking. Sometimes they do go in and work, but Canada Day, I already talked to them. It seems like they're not going to probably be there. So I talked to the landlord. I said, can I have the whole parking lot? He said, yeah. So I reached out to a few guys that I know. I've got around 6, 7, 8 guys already lined up to come in. These are guys that you'll find at the Toronto Comic Book Show. You'll find at Fan Expo. These are guys, and they're going to bring just, stuff they can put out quickly. And it's going to be a very casual event, a very casual affair. And again, it's no cost to come. You just come on over and peruse what we have. You can come into the Comic Doctor's office if you want to and talk to me. I'll be there. Charlo will be upstairs in the loft with Napur. And a bunch of guys. I'll put a list of the guys that are coming later. Once I have a final list, because I've still got guys thinking about, letting me know whether they're going to come or not. But yeah, man, I look forward to seeing you there, Gord, for sure. Dana says, you had me at hot dogs. Well, I don't know about the hot dogs. I'm going to see. I'm going to check. I'm going to talk to Brian. He already offered, but I hate for him to set it all up and then not enough guys come to make it worth his while. So that's my only concern, but I will talk to him. Eric says, evening all from the Sioux. How you doing, Eric? Good to see ya. How are things up in the Sioux? Chris Johnson's here. Facilitating is the word you were, yeah, probably facilitating to facilitate. Yeah. Warren says, well, that's not my Dark Knight. No, but yours, I think, is yours here. Yours might be here. I think. Hey, Brouhaha, how's it going? John says, if you like comics, hit the like button. Yeah, please. 16 people have. Why haven't you? Adam's in the house too. Whoops. How you doing, Adam? Spartacus, I know your view on signatures, but do you feel if they sign the back versus the front, does that affect the resale? I'll be honest, if I had to have someone sign one of my books, I would prefer them to sign the back, because the back is, it's not going to really affect the front cover. I don't know. Getting someone like Todd McFarlane's signature or Stan Lee when he was alive, it was kind of, their signature brought a little more gravitas to the book. I think any signature does from a creator. It's just something I don't love to do. But yeah, to answer your question, if I had to choose, if I had an X-Men #1 and I could have them sign it, I'd prefer if they signed either the splash page on the inside or the back page. That way artwork is hurt while it's doing it. Okay, another 9.8 coming up the wings here, guys. We get a 9.6 copy of Hulk #1. Whoa, almost knocked out my camera there. This one can sometimes be a little tricky to get in a 9.8, believe it or not. Here we go. We got some more 9.8s. We got a 9.8 copy of Daredevil 181 in a white pager. Very nice. We also have some reprints coming up. And some more 9.8s. We got a 9.8 copy of Amazing Fantasy 15 reprint from 2017. And I've been seeing a lot more of these coming into the shop lately. Charlo's got a bunch of these reprints at his shop. So if you're in the market for some of these reprints, he doesn't have AF-15 or Hulk 181, but he's got some other key books there. At least he did. He sold a bunch on the weekend. But if you're looking for them, yeah, come on over. Power Pack #1 in a 9.8 as well. Nothing wrong with that. Wow, look at that. Another 9.8. Two more 9.8s. 9.8 copy of Spider-Man #7 for Spider-Boy, I believe. And we have a copy of X-Men 221. Excuse me, first appearance of Mr. Sinister. And a 9. I think I got like 3 or 4 copies. This is my own, actually. I just put them away. More 9.8s, more 9.8s. Got one more 9.8, and then we kind of drop down a little bit. We've got a Return of Wolverine, second printing, the Error Edition, 9.8 white pager, and this one is from what year? 2018, right there. Bada bing, bada boom. And then we ran out of room, so I'll just do it this way now. 9.6 white page copy of New Mutants 98. And then we got Lady Bullseye and Daredevil Volume 2, number 111. Right there in a 9.4. Beauty. Put these back in here. This box has produced a lot of 9.8s, and there is at least one more to go, so don't go anywhere. And I have a whole other box to reveal to you in just a few moments. Let's see what you guys are saying over here at the chat room as I pack these babies away. Nucky Futz is here. How are you? Hi, Doctor of Comics. What is the rarest book that passes through your hands? Oh my gosh. Rarest book? Lately? Like, I mean, I don't want to say it's super rare. We've got a copy of Superman #2 right now that we're going to be working on. That's a book we haven't seen. I've seen maybe once before, twice before, maybe in my 12 years. We have, and I'll show that on here when we get to it. We also have, I mean, there's books like Lobo #1, and not the Lobo from the Western Gunfighter, right? That guy. That's a pretty rare book, and I just did one the other day for Mike. I mean, you see it, but it's something you don't see come across your table very often. I mean, mostly, honestly, we see this type of stuff, right? You guys watch every book that comes back, unless the owner requests that I don't showcase the books, and sometimes they do. you see everything I'm getting, and it's usually, I hate to say the word run of the mill, but it's the popular stuff that everybody wants to have in their collection. That's what I tend to see more often than not. That's a hard question. And to be quite honest, a lot of the books that we're seeing nowadays, because the values have gone up so much on a lot of books. There was a time when I would see Avengers #1 like all the time, or even AF-15 would come in a little more frequently, or a Hulk #1. I do see that stuff, but not as frequently as I once did. And are those really rare books anyway? No, there are tons of AF-15s out there. There's tons of ASM 1s and Avengers 1s. Lots of that stuff out there. But the prices have gotten so high on these things. If people are holding on to these books, even just to press, clean, and grade these books, depending on the grade, of course, could cost you anywhere from $2,000 or maybe $1,000 and up. So it's a big cost to have these books worked on. Even if you bought those books at a low price and now you think, oh, maybe I'm going to get them worked on. Yeah, well, get ready to open your pocketbook up because the prices have gone up so much. People are maybe holding off on getting them worked on. That could be a fool's errand, though. I've kind of fallen into that trap, too. I've got 3 or 4 big books that I just kind of never bothered getting done. I want to do them. It's going to cost me more money now because I waited so long. Anyways, didn't really answer your question that well, I don't think, but... All right, we got some more 9.8s. Let's see. Yes, oh, look at this. Oh my gosh. The last one's not a 9.8, but 5 or so leading up to that. All right, here we go. We got a copy of Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 2, number 30 in a 9.8 right there. We have a ROM #1. I love these early 80s books, or this is the 79 actually, in a 9.8 white pager. Gotta love it. Another X-Men 266. Another X-Men 266 in a 9 plus 2. 2 we have today. We've got a Thor. We don't see Thor books very often, do we? Thor 391. First appearance of Eric Masterson in a 9.8 white pager. This is a direct copy. Spider-Woman #1, 1978 again. And a 9, even these 9.8s, the way they're sitting in these slabs, guys, I don't like it. I don't like it one friggin' bit. What am I supposed to do? I can't do anything. They're coming back. I'm telling you, when you see the books in these slabs, don't think that they're grading them after the fact. They grade the books. They assign the grade, which is a good thing, I guess. But then they put the book in the slab, and like when I look at that book and I look at the spine, I'm like, this is not a 9.8 anymore. It might have been when you opened it from being sent from us to you, but now is it a 9.8? I don't know. And believe me, even that X-Men 266 I just showed you. Yeah, I don't know what the hell. Is it the way they're handling the books? I don't know. Even this Devil Dinosaur #1, 9.6 white pager. It's aggravating. I don't know. I'll tell you, I never saw this amount of spine damage after the books had been graded like I'm seeing now. It's almost like, again, going back to the cracks from a little while ago, the cracked slabs, I mean, it's almost like it's an epidemic now where all these books are coming back with bent up spines. I guess, like I said, the good news is at least they're grading the books first, but they just don't present as nice as they should in the slab. And a lot of you out there, a lot of CGC haters out there, I know you're out there. It's okay. You know, we all can have our likes and dislikes. I have no problem. You know, if you don't like CGC, that's totally cool. I don't like that. And that's something that they should be working on. And I think they're getting complaints. I'm starting to see a lot of other people noticing it too. It's like when I used to see those hairline cracks, I think I was one of the first ones to really start complaining about it. I was shipping back boxes and boxes of slabs to get redone. And then other people started complaining about them too. And I have a lot of clients who are very, very picky about their slabs. They don't want cracks in their slabs. And why should they when they're paying at the time almost as much as $60 to $70 for a grade, you know, a book to be graded? They want their slabs to be perfect. Anyways, now their books are looking kind of beat up, and it's a different thing now though, isn't it? Because you send the book back, you got to get it pressed again. It's I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you. I can tell you that we have another box to go, so don't go anywhere. Let's go over to the chat rooms. A lot of you guys are asking questions and making comments. David Dryden's here. Do you guys do any wet cleaning or cover washing? I have one book that's particularly grimy. Any advice? Well, David, we talked about this a little bit on the last show. Can we do wet cleaning? Yes, we can do aqueous baths on a book. We do dry cleaning first, of course, and then we could do an aqueous bath, and that usually lightens the cover up. It actually strengthens the paper as well, too, by reintroducing humidity into the book. The only caveat with that is, it's like a 50-50 shot that the book's going to come back with a blue conserved label saying the book has been washed. And in some cases, if you whiten or clean the book, a little too much, you may get a purple label. They might come back and say cover washed. I encourage you to watch that episode I did about 2 weeks ago where I showed Swaggelhaus talking to Matt Nelson about this very thing and about, is it okay to use peroxides or to use, B-lead or special lighting techniques to lighten and brighten a page. And essentially he said, yeah, you can do it as long as it's not noticeable, as long as you don't go overboard. So that's the question. When's enough? When's, when you go too far? You got to really be cautious about that. But to answer your question, yeah, we can do it. I was going to start actively advertising it. There's a lot of guys that do actively advertise it. But I know for a fact they're getting books back that are not blue all the time, right? And I just don't want that. I don't want clients to come to me and I don't want clients to come to me and say, Kevin, I didn't want the book to come back restored. I know you warned me, but I'd rather not even advertise it. But if a client, now I've had guys say, Kevin, I don't give a shit if it comes back restored or whatever. I just want you to do it or try it, then I'll do it. But I don't want to actively advertise it or promote it or say we do it, because we don't. It's on a case-by-case basis. Now, if a book is really brittle, sometimes an aqueous bath is actually a good idea, because if it's brittle and get to the point where it's going to start crumbling, yeah, and in some cases it's too late anyways. But if you're getting to that point and there's still that window where you can help save an older book, then aqueous bath is actually a good thing. Even if it comes back conserved, you're actually saving that book from disintegrating. But on books from the 60s and 70s and 80s, that isn't the case. Most books of that generation aren't facing those kinds of problems. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't know if I answered your question or not, but it's a tough one. But yes, we can. To answer your question, yes, we can. Case by case. Eric says, how are these books looking in the inner wells? I'm hesitant to send some stuff because I don't like how the moderns look. Does it happen all the time? 50-50. You're talking about the moderns I've been showing, Eric? Because I am not, in the next box, I'm sure we're going to see some examples of what I'm talking about, because it's like I said, it's almost like an epidemic. So stick around, and when I see one, I'll address it, and I'll tell you, and again, I am not seeing it. I'm not seeing problems with modern books, like recent books. I'm not even seeing problems with books from the 1950s or the 1940s or the 1960s or the 1970s. Late 70s a little bit. I should say the late 70s I'm seeing, and it goes up to like 1988, 89. That's where I'm really noticing it the most. But stick around, and if I see a book, I'll point it out to you, okay? Mike says, hey, Doc, what are your thoughts on all the 9.9s coming out lately? Mike, I'm not liking that. I've said this before many times. I don't think that they should have changed their grading standards, because we've all been used to what they've been giving us since their inception 20 some odd years ago. All of a sudden now we're going to start seeing 9.9s popping out. I thought that was a really shitty idea, and a really kind of a creepy idea, considering all these people have invested in CGC all these years, and for them to then all of a sudden to say, oh, you know, we're gonna start giving out 9.9s now. Well, wait a second, I've got a shit ton of 9.8s. Does that mean I got to send all these books back in to try to get that 9.9? Just like guys are trying to send their 9.6s in to get 9.8s previously. So I had a real problem with that. And even Matt Nelson said, well, you know, you're not going to see a lot of 9.9s in the 60s or the early 70s, but you could see them from the 80s and the 90s. So okay, well, that's a lot of Fritz, 20 years of books. Yeah, no, I don't think that was ethically a good thing to do. You know, you have a standard, keep that standard the way it is. And again, if you want to start grading books 9.9, or you want to change the standard, change it from, like, say, 2020, from books from 2020 and up, or books from 2020. Here's an idea. We changed our idea. We got this new cockamania idea as of right now, that every book from, say, May of 2024, or from 2025 coming up, we're going to look at modern books under a different light, under a different eye view. That's okay. But to take old books that we've, you know, that we've already, you know, we're all clamoring to get 9.8s. 9.8's not the pinnacle anymore. 9.9 is. So that leaves a lot of paying customers, dedicated CGC customers, in my opinion, leaves them in the lurch. And that to me, I thought was not cool. Was not cool. All right, let's keep going, guys. Lots of books to share with you. And we'll come back to the chat in just a moment. Again, guys, any questions? Today's your day. It's subscriber day. You can ask any questions you want about comic books, comic pressing, cleaning, grading, pop culture, movies, TV, whatever you want. We'll get to that in just a moment. Here we go. We got a 9.6 copy of Wolverine #1. Another, couple more 9.8s coming up, guys. We got, look, this book looks great. See, look, we got this Wonder Woman 184, 9.8. The book looks really nice. It's got some wavery. That's very common at the top. You see that in all kinds of books. But my issue is the spine. And the spine looks pretty decent on this one. It does show some bending, but it's not terrible. I'm going to show you one that's really terrible. I'm sure one will come up. Here's a 9.8 copy of X-Men. See, this looks okay too. X-Men #4. This one looks pretty good. And a 9.8 right there. That one looks all right. But the paper on this is different, right? And if you've pressed this book before, or you've handled this book before, you know the paper on this X-Men #4 has a different feel to it, right? Let's keep going here. I've got a 9.6 copy of this as well. Right there. And then we have a 9.6. It could be on the, yeah, here we go. We got a 9.6 copy of the First Bishop and X-Men 282s from 1991. Is this going to show it? This will show it. This is the problem, right? Right. Where is it? Where can we get a good, let me see if I can get a nice, of course, it's not going to show now. Right there. Look at all this. These little bends. You see these? These are spine ticks that have been gotten rid of. And then because, listen, when you press a book, if you got a spine tick on a book and you press it and you get rid of the spine tick, great. But where that spine tick was is always going to be a weak point. It's always going to be a weak area. So if the book is going to be, you know, re-damaged down the road, that's where it's going to damage first. So if they've taken this book and they've graded this book, and then they've it's from taking it from being graded and putting it inside the Newell, the handling of the book or the process of encapsulating this for some reason lately has been wreaking havoc on these books. It hasn't always been that way, but it has started to become a very common thing, which again is very aggravating. Another 9.8, guys. We've got a 9.8 Secret Wars 5. Oh, I think these are Butchie's books, I think. He'll be very happy with these, I think. That one he was worried about, if I recall correctly. We also have a 9.6 copy of first appearance of Cassandra Nova and X-Men 114. And again, this one looks pretty damn good. The spine looks fine on this one. And that's a 9.6. Who asked the question here? I think it was Mike. Was it Mike who asked about cleaning? Mike, or it was Dave. Oh yeah, it was David Dryden. I've got some issue. Don't go anywhere. You can find the next little bit very interesting. Here we've got a 9.8 copy, beautiful copy of Secret Wars number 8. And again, you know, does it look like a 9.8? I guess it is. 9.8. There, look at the spine. It's not terrible. I've seen a lot worse. You know what I mean? It's like the books just don't seem to be lying nice and flat in these slabs anymore. We've got an ASM 252 newsstand edition in a 9.6. And we've got another 9.6 copy of Moon Knight #1 right there. Now, we've done some experiments, by the way. Books from this vintage right here, they can handle being washed. They can handle being like washed again and again and again. And I push it to the limit. I've sent sample books in. This is not one of them. To see if see how far we can go with it, and before they make notice. And I've done all kinds of experiments, and we've gotten away with a lot. So we've already known, we kind of know which books can handle it being cleaned and which ones can't, and which ones kind of show that they're overdone. Okay, I've got a lot of books here to go. Okay, we got a 9.6 copy. I'll go over here now of Star Wars number, what is that? Number 12 in a 9.6, pretty good grade. Got a whole bunch of Star Wars books. We got a few Star Wars books. Nice copy of Star Wars number 19 in a 9.4 white page. Beautiful. I mean, if you're a true collector, do you have to have a 9.8? You know, like books like this in a 9.4 are still absolutely gorgeous and absolutely attainable. So if you're trying to put a graded Star Wars run together, why do you, I mean, hey, if you got the dough and you want to spend it on the 9.8s, go for it. But you know what, nothing wrong with 9.4s or 9.2s or even 9.0, hey, even 8.5s. Now, will the value over time increase on that? No, probably not by much. Probably go up a little bit, but not like these ones will. So, you know, again, you always got to ask yourself, why am I collecting this? Am I collecting this for the joy of it? Because I'm an addict. I'm a collector addict. You know what I mean? Like, I love to buy stuff and create like a collection of things, and having a grade makes no difference if it's a 4 or if it's a 10. Then find an affordable, comfortable grade and go for it. Now, if you're one of those guys who wants like high grade 9.8, 9.9, as we were talking about, then hey, it's going to be a very expensive road you go down. But those books in the long run probably will show you a better return, right? Probably. Probably. There's no guarantees in this business, guys. You know that. Venom, Lethal Protector, the 9.8. Seen millions of these this year. What else do we have? We got a lot of books. Okay, a couple of resto books coming up that I want to share with you. I peeked at them there and I saw them and I'm like, okay. Answers one of the questions you guys had. X-Men number 12, Origin of Professor X right here, and it's low grade, 2.5. Again, 2.5. Nothing wrong with the 2.5. The whole book is there. It's even got some history right there, some provenance there with some kid doing some math there. Yeah, nothing wrong with grabbing doing an ASM. Like a guy came in the shop the other day. He's like, "Oh, you got so many ASM books here." I do have quite a few, not hundreds, but I got several ASM books under issue 100, and they're like $100, $200, $300, $75, whatever. And he goes, "They're still affordable." Yeah, they're affordable. It's when you start going into the 8s and 9s where all of a sudden it becomes almost unattainable. All right, so we also have an X-Men number 12, first appearance of Juggernaut. Again, 4.5. Nothing wrong with that. Beautiful copy. Great color. Back's all there in a 4.5. Put that over there for posterity. You can't really see it very well, but all right. Now, come here. This is interesting. We have two books here, two flash books. Dan, are these yours? I don't think they are. Restoration, both. This one here is a 5.0. It's a 5.0. And this one here, it's a 7.0. Beautiful copy. It's a first reverse flash, yes. And a 7.0. Restoration includes cover cleaned. So, no, we didn't do that, obviously. All we did was dry clean and press. And I'm trying to see where they would have thought this book was cleaned. Because to my eyes, this book has not been cleaned like that. Yeah. It doesn't show the typical usual, like this book still has some yellowing and tanning on it. So usually when you wash the book, cover cleaned. Okay, that's pretty vague, right? You know what I'm going to do while I have you guys here? I'm going to go over to the CGC website. I'll put you guys. Oh, you'll still see me while I do this. I want to go to the CGC website and I want to see if they say anything else. If there's a little more information than just cover clean, because cover clean can mean many things, right? Let's see what we see here. Okay, so the cert number on this one, for example, is 443-281-0002. Let's see what it says. It says, all right, let's go. I'm a human being. Yes, I'm a human being. Last time I checked. Doesn't say, all it says is crease to right cover. Okay, breaks color. Spine stress lines, break color. Cover cleaned. Multiple crease, bottom of cover breaks color. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to the owner and see where they got the book from and go from there. But at first glance, I wouldn't say that these books were cleaned. That's the thing. I don't see any clues. And usually if the book has been a book of this vintage, if it's been given an aqueous bath, you can usually tell by the texture of the paper. And I don't believe we saw that on here. So that is very strange. Beautiful copy. Beautiful. But yeah, not sure what to do about that. We got about another seven or eight books to go. We've got another ASM 252. This one is a Canadian price variant. Close but no cigar. 9.6 in white pages. We also haven't seen this book in a few weeks. Lovely copy of first appearance of, and here's another one there too. You'll notice the there we go. Look at the spine. Look at the spine in particular. Where is it? Right there. Look at the spine. 194. Now the rippling at the top might seem concerning. Honestly, I've cracked books out of here. Once the book comes out of here and it lies flat on a table, that just relaxes. It just does. This though, the spine. No, I don't dig it, man. I don't dig it. It's a pretty book nonetheless. 9.6. Gorgeous copy. Gorgeous copy. Let me go back and put my all right. We also have a copy of whoa. All right, we got some more ASM books and some old Fantastic Four books. We got an ASM number 42 right here in a 3.5. Again, affordable and nothing wrong. Look at this. Book's there. Nothing to balk at. Whole book is there, a little tanned, whatever. It's gorgeous, you know. It's a book from 1966. It was well loved. After a good press, it presents really well, and it's affordable. You could probably pick a book. I would assume, again, I'm going to guess here, but a book like this in a 3.5, without looking it up on GPA or eBay or whatever, I'm going to guess you could buy that book graded already, probably for a couple of $100, $200 to $300. That's not terrible for a book of that vintage. You could probably find it raw for $100. So yeah, nothing wrong. We got a Fantastic Four issue number 57 in a 4.5 Dr. Doom cover. Been seeing this one come in quite a bit lately. We also have an FF59. They really, whoops, oh, there's a big tear in this one. That's why. Big tear on this one. And this one here is a 2.0, but there's a large tear right across. You can see it right there going through Black Bolt. I would assume that is why I got the 2, because it's more like a 5, 4.5, 5. If it didn't have that tear in it, I mean, right? Then we got some more FFs. We got another, oh, this is a cool one right here. I think these, I forget whose books these are right now, but we got a FF number 25 in a 2.0. Very famous, aside from issue number 12, this is the next one you want to get. And this one has a little bit of, this one had a really bad spine roll on it. And you can see the spine roll right there. It has been fixed. I had before and afters of this one, but they didn't present really nice, so I didn't bother. I have so many pictures I take, and people ask, Kevin, do you take pictures of all the books? No, gosh, no. I wish I had a system set up where I could, because it's not as simple as just taking it front and back. You got to get the light right, and it takes forever. But we try to, when the books are really far gone, and we know there's going to be a real dramatic improvement, we like to take pictures, but sometimes they still don't turn out well. But guys, that's all the books we have. So let's go back to the chat room. We'll see what you guys are saying. And again, any questions you might have about cleaning, pressing, whatever, now's the time to ask. I'll go back to the chat window right now, see what you guys are saying. Brian's here. How you doing, Brian? Brian is the hot dog guy. I'm going to talk to Brian later today. I'm going to give him a call. Rob Bin says, have some mags for press and sealed VHS to submit. What are your turnaround times? Turnaround times are pretty good. Turnaround times, as of right like this second today, turnaround time for cleaning, pressing, grading, and return shipping is around 2.5 to 3 months. But I'm quoting still 3 to 4 months, only because I am swamped in July, off to Montreal, and then I'm off to California for a few weeks. So, and Nipur's off to for a wedding. She's gone for a few weeks too. So yeah, it's kind of like we're kind of in and out. We're like strangers in the night. So our July is kind of topsy-turvy and very busy. So because of that, I don't want to say 2.5 to 3 months. I'm still going to say 3 to 4 months. It probably won't be that long. As for VHS, I just submit them. I don't like doing VHSs. I don't like doing video games. I will do it, but just I won't do it today. I'll do it like maybe in September. I'll start again because they're a pain in the butt because it's really expensive. Again, I've talked about this at length before. To ship them back, it's like $250. It's stupid expensive. So it might not be worth, Rob, doing it unless you've got some really high value VHS ones to submit. Sean's here too. How you doing, Sean? Nucking Fud says, I think it would be a unicorn to a... Yeah, yeah. Talking about signatures, if it's a Kirby and a Stan Lee, am I gonna balk at that? No, I'll keep that in my collection, right? Of course. Markers, no, Spartacus markers are there to stay. There are some guys who have techniques that they use, but I'll be honest, the results are they're very rarely. If you've got a Sharpie marker or really sharp, there's going to be some remnants. And nothing more I hate, and this sometimes happens with grease pencil. Grease pencil, depending on how the book has been stored, grease pencil will sometimes wipe right off and leave very little, if any, evidence it was there. So I love it. But sometimes you've got grease pencil that doesn't want to completely be removed. And it's because it's probably been heated up in a garage somewhere for 25 years and it's stained the paper really, really good. And you just don't see it. So what you end up with is a faint residue of where the grease marker was. For me, I'd rather have the grease marker still there. I don't want it to look like, someone tried to remove the grease pencil, but they couldn't. So you see kind of a ghosting of the grease pencil. Screw that. No, F that. When I get grease pencil, I can tell. I have little techniques I use to tell if it's going to come off completely. Sometimes I'm accurate, sometimes I'm not. And sometimes customers don't mind that ghosting. They just want it gone as much as possible. But a marker, no, it's there to stay. There are guys that have different techniques they use, but you always see some kind of remnants. There are, and usually it involves using, what do you call it? Like mineral spirits to thin out the inks, so you could cause more damage. And so oftentimes it's more risky than it is worth it, honestly. So yeah, there you go. Brian says, hey, how you doing, Brad? Brad says, hello, how you doing? David says, does highlighted text on an interior page of magazine impact the grade? You mean like someone took a highlighter and highlighted it? Yeah, it will affect the grade for sure. Anything that is not supposed to be there will take away from the grade for sure. Nick says, been buying Dave Stevens covers as of late. Yeah, they're very popular right now, and you can probably still find them pretty cheap. A lot of older comic book store owners probably don't realize that that's a pretty hot commodity right now. So yeah, pick them up while you can. Nick says, Doc, the OG Spider-Woman in that outfit will always be a 10 to me. It's a great outfit, man. I don't mind the black and white one that inspired the symbiote costume we see later. I like that one too. But that Spider, in fact, I like the other Spider-Woman where she's wearing the one with Nick Fury there. I kind of like that one too. But yeah, that is pretty sick. I do like it. I got a copy of the 9.8 of that somewhere myself. All my wells as of late are loose, and listen, the wells are wobbly for sure. And hey, listen, maybe that's what's causing this problem. Maybe that's the fact that they're being shaken around inside this theaters. Like, I can take one out right now. Let's see if I can get this. Listen. You hear that? That's the inner well bumping up and down. So a comic being bumped up and down a lot in shipping isn't going to probably be good for the spine or any part of the book for that matter. They really need to redesign these. But yeah, they're going to listen to me. Sure. Brad, but yeah, I've noticed that too, Brad. All of them. Books are safer in a Mylar acid-free backboard sometimes. Yeah. Dave's here. Hey, Kevin, picked up my book today. Very happy customer. Thank you, Dave. Yes. What a book. What's that book worth? Dave picked up a copy of his signed copy of X-Men 130, double signed, I believe, by Claremont and Austin, and 9.8 white pages. So congratulations, Dave. That's fantastic. Mike Heron says, I have a Fallen Sun Death of Cap misprint. Number 4 interior with cover from number 3. Is it worth slabbing, or do you think it should come back with a green label? But that's okay, right? It's supposed to come back with a green. That's what a green label's for, in my opinion. But yeah, it should. Hey, but you know what? The consistency over there is all over the place. So will you get a green label? I don't know. I'm going to say you should get a green label. Will you get a green label? Your guess is as good as mine. Peter, any thoughts on the Go Collect collectible price index? I think it is well done. Peter, I haven't used Go Collect for a while. I originally used it for my collection like 7-8 years ago. I found the pricing wasn't very accurate. So I killed my account and I'm over at GP Analysis now, only because I use GP for like bigger books I want to buy, and then I use just eBay and stuff like that for just the regular books, you know. But I'm sure Go Collect is fine. A lot of people do. What I like about Go Collect is they have pictures of every single book, unlike GP that is not. So GP Analysis, you got to be careful, because sometimes you might be thinking you're looking at the book you're thinking you're looking at, but it's the wrong book because there's no pictures, which I don't like. Peter, by the way, we just finished pressing your books. Couple of them look really good. There's one Superman book I think you're going to get a 9.6 on. 9.4. I'll say 9.4, 9.6, but it's really, really nice. So anyways, they're going off to CGC probably early next week. Pretty quick, eh, Pete? Dave says, the video of the angry girlfriend grading and encapsulation on CGC page seems like they handle that with the care you would hope they would give to every submission. Well, and you know what I was shocked about that, Dave? Dave's referring to the Green Goblin ASM 14 Angry Girlfriend edition. You go to YouTube, you'll see what Dave's talking about. And they actually showed how they encapsulate, how they actually seal the inner well. Wow, they're showing that off. But yeah, they're very, very careful. Listen, I don't doubt they're careful with the books. I just have to say, I don't know I've never been there. I don't walk around. I don't see what it's like in there. I hope that everybody's handling our books that way. You know, all I know is when people are busy, when times are stressful, mistakes happen. And I don't know if they got quotas there. You got to grade a book every, 66 seconds. I don't know what they're, and I'm sure they have some kind of stipulation. Like if you're grading 3 books a day, you're going to get fired tomorrow, right? So I don't know what their quota is. I have no idea. So when you have quotas, and again, I'm assuming they have quotas. I'm just assuming they are. I would think they do. When they have quotas and when they're really busy, and when you've got staff running around the country doing shows, and they tell me they do this, they're running all over the place. Yeah, shit happens. Shit can go sideways pretty quick, and that makes me very nervous. But I don't know. I hope they do as well. That's a pretty funny. They've actually called it the edition, or the Angry Girlfriend edition now. It's pretty funny. It's famous. Where was going on here? Brad. Oh, sorry. Dave also says, I'm afraid that the Secret Wars and Craven Last Hunt runs I submitted to you. Don't be afraid. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll work out fine. Brad says, a lot of my books are starting to bow in the wells. Scares me a bit. That bowing is creating light creasing and exposing prior damage. Yeah, again, these are things I am noticing with books coming right back from there. And these were not problems I saw 5 years ago. So what the hell's going on? Why are these problems now occurring? That is very, very frustrating and very, very scary. You know, I will bring it up. I'm going to bring it up when I talk to I got to contact customer service soon about an issue, and I will start bringing that up because, yeah, I'm pretty concerned about that. Yo, what's up, Luis Mendoza? Good to see you, pal. Thanks for coming by. Brad says, I remember chasing Burns X-Men in 9.6 for under 100. They all went up in value based on what I paid. I bet they did. 9.6. Those are great X-Men books, and if they're in high grade, they're big dollars. Warren says purple matches. Purple matches. Oh, looks good. Sure. Purple does look good. You're right. It does. He's talking about the Flash books there. Spartacus, are all the signed comics back? No, they're not. I got some more still outstanding ones. David says maybe the cover cleaned is the result of leaving cleaning chemicals on the book that they can pick up with certain tests. They're not. Come on, David. They're not testing anything. They don't have time to test. You think they sit there with a black light? I mean, I think they would, if they suspect something, I think they would look a little closer. But I'm going to tell you right now, if they even think a book has been tampered with, that book is going to get a purple label. If they think about it, don't think for a second they're doing that. Oh, here's a book. Let's take it to the laboratory and spend 4 hours on it. Bullshit. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. No way. I could send those books in again and they might come back blue. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen that happen. And I hate to say that, but I've seen it. I've seen it happen where customers have had purple books that they've had for years, books I never even worked on. We crack it, we send it back, and they come back blue. So no, there are no tests. Now again, I went through all these books. Like I look at every single book that goes through the shop, guys. I don't work on every book personally, you know that, but I do review and approve or disprove certain books. And so if I see a book that looks like it's been tampered with, I'm going to make a phone call and say, "God, hey man, reviewing your book here. It looks great, but I think the book may have been cleaned." I did that with 2 books I just sent back to BC today. I kept 2 books back. One I was sure was a first Scorpion. 100% it was cleaned. 100%. And the other book had color touch. So we just kept them and I shipped them back with the books when they came back from CGC to the owner. I didn't do that with these because it didn't show up to me. It didn't my spidey senses didn't go off when I saw those books. So, someone's spidey sense at CGC went off, but do they have tests and all this? I don't believe so. I think they just go, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And they show each other and they debate back and forth. Yeah, it's probably been cleaned. Give it a purple label. But when the owner comes to pick these up, we'll look closely. Maybe I'll crack one out and have a closer look and determine whether or not they have been. And if not, maybe they'll elect to send them back again. And it happens, believe me. Brad Costa, they never explain the grade. Yeah, they don't. Very vague comments. Dan says, "No, not mine, but is my Aquaman book there?" I don't know. Have you seen it? I haven't seen it recently. It's probably coming soon. Gord Henderson, I wonder if the spine issues could be related to humidity down south. Yeah, but then the books come up here and they're not, the humidity might not be so bad here. And yes, these books can be affected by, that's a good point Gord makes. It is a good point Gord makes. The humidity and the temperature is extremely critical. And if they pack these books up in a box like that they're in and they get stuck in a warehouse that's hot, or in a warehouse that has extreme air conditioning, even cold, or they're put in a truck that's not, let's be honest, the back of a FedEx truck is probably not, humidity controlled. It's just really hot or really cold. So these books are being exposed to various temperatures. And could these books over time settle down? Yeah, I guess they can. I've seen it at my shop with books being ripply, and then the next day when I control the humidity, they just kind of settle back down again. So that is a good point, Gord. It could be that. It could be that, coupled with the fact that they're moving around in there. As you all saw, the inner wells are shimmying back and forth, which is very frustrating, but that could be a reason what's causing these recent problems. David says, that's great, a 3.5. It is. Eric says, you should pop onto the CGC forums and see CGC Dave, who was on there. He has worked on relaying concerns quickly from the community in the past regarding the smushed books inside the inner wells. I never go on the CGC boards. I don't have time. I never can get on the CGC boards for some reason. I've tried to get on them in the past, and maybe I'm a computer idiot, but I never can seem to get on them. But I've never really been on them before. If you are on them, Eric, and you would like to pass those concerns on behalf of me, I would, sure. That'd be cool. Not my books in, not yet. Spiro, hey Doc, what month are you currently? We're into early May now. We're into early May. We just finished up late April into early May. Spiro, I just sent a batch of yours in today. I think a batch of yours are on their way. Actually, I've got all the invoices here. Look at this. I just sent 500 books to CGC today, and these are all the invoices I got to send out. And guys, if I send you an invoice, please, please, please understand. And I hate being that guy. I don't want to change the way I do things, but I may have to, because lately a few guys have been very, how can I put this, tardy in paying the bill. You got to understand when CGC receives all these, they're going to bill my credit card immediately. I'm going to have a balance of probably a balance of close to 25 grand on my credit card that I'm responsible to pay off in a month. I don't carry balances. So please, if you do get an invoice, if you wouldn't mind paying it promptly, that'd be appreciated. If you can't, or some kind of circumstances, please just reach out to me. Don't ghost me. And tell me what's going on, and we can work together. But I need to get those paid down as soon as possible. I don't charge anybody anything until the books are on their way to CGC. I don't want to have to change that policy. The things work nice the way they are, but some people have kind of, well, I wouldn't say they ghost me, but they just don't, not very quick in the draw when it comes to their bill. Anyways. But yeah, we're in early May, which is fantastic. Carlo's here. How you doing, Carlo? Carlo will be setting up on Monday. I've invited Carlo out to set up on Monday at the show. So again, if you're just getting here now, guys, on Monday, July 1st, that's Canada Day up here in the Great White North. We are having I guess you could call it a swap meet / sale, flea market type sale at my shop, but not in my shop, in the parking lot of my shop. These dealers are going to drive up, open up their trunks or open up the doors of their vans, put out a table, throw out the comics, and let's have some fun. Nothing fancy, but it'll be fun. So Carlo's one of the guys that'll be there. I hope you guys can make it out. Astro's here. How you doing, Astro? Also, Luke is here as well. How you doing, Luke? Dave recommends price charting to look up values. BA1, Batman Adventures 1. Is that what that sounds for? Oh, Brent. How you doing, Brent? Good to see you. Brent Daly. Good evening, sir. Good to see you. Chris Johnson, I have X-Men 25 that was printed with no hologram, and CGC said it would get a green label. Bummer. No, that's okay. That is what the green labels are for those kind of oddball issues. And people understand that. And in that case, those green labels are totally cool. So yeah, embrace the green label in that case. Don't worry about it. People know. We know. Let's see here. Mark Loeb said, graders notes, now that they are grading more 9.9s and 10s, I hope they start adding notes to 9.8s to justify why they are not a higher grade. Probably not. Would be nice. Gord says, when you say you're working in early May, do you mean receiving in or starting to clean and press? When I say we're now cleaning and pressing, we're getting to orders that came in early May, late April, early May. So that's what we're working on right now. And yeah, so we're not in the June books yet. We probably won't be in the June books until sometime later in July. Dave says, I never asked you, what forms of payment do you accept? If you are Canadian, you can pay with, well, anybody can pay with credit card. But if you're Canadian, I do prefer, if you don't mind, to use e-transfer. I lay all that out when I send the invoices out. But if you don't, for my American clients, credit card's the easiest way to go. It does all the conversion rates. I bill Americans. The number you see is in Canadian funds. So when you pay that, it's Canadian funds. You can knock about probably 20% off, close to 20% off. Your American bill will be different. Spartacus says, Grant Eastman is doing a signing at CBCS. Do you submit comics to them also? I had that question 3 times today. I do not send books to CBCS under my account, but if you want to have your Eastman books signed at CBCS, you can fill out a CBCS form. Their membership is free. Get me your books. I'll press and clean your books, and I will ship your books to CBCS for you using my discounted pricing through FedEx. And yeah, that way you can get your book clean and pressed by me. And then once CBCS gets the books, they deal with you directly. They'll charge you. They'll ship them directly back to you. Okay? I asked her, Lucky, how many different sellers you expect to get the swap meet thing? So far, I've got around 8. I don't want more than 12, 13. It'll get too busy. I just want about 13 guys. I put the invitation to a few more. In fact, if you are local, if you guys have a lot of books and you want to sell and you know me, reach out. If I've got room and you're in Oshawa and you want to sell some books, give me a holler, and maybe you could come out as well and set up. I have no problem. And I'm not charging dealers a penny. You just come and set up, and I ain't charging any fees to come to the just come on over and have fun. I'm not paying for the hot dogs though. So if Brian does set up the hot dogs, and they're good hot dogs, you deal with him directly. Luke says, will the shop be also open on Saturday? Yes, the shop is open Saturday from 11 till 2, and then I'm open again on Monday from 10 till 1. Eric says, to quote Rihanna, bitch, better have my money. Pay me what you owe me. Don't act like you forgot. Yeah, look, I'm not the kind of, I hate to bug people. I don't want, everyone's got issues. I mean, everyone's got bills to pay. I get issues. Everyone's got bills to pay. I get it. And comics aren't the most important things. But once once the ball's rolling, I can't reverse time, right? And I got bills to pay too. So it's as simple as that. I don't want to charge people for stuff ahead of time. Most pressers do. If you go, most of the pressers out there, I know for a fact, as soon as you fill out before you even send your book, before they even take your books, are asking for money. I'm not doing that. I have your books. I always feel like I got your books. I don't feel right taking money until the job is done. But then once the job is done, and the books are on their way to CGC, yeah, come on. I am sure he will be doing a CGC signing again. Oh, they all will. They all will. Guys, there you go. Listen. I sure hope you enjoyed that show today. And quite a few 9/8s, didn't we? Listen, again, just to recap a few things. Tomorrow night, boy, I got to get ready for this. Tomorrow night, I am hosting Swaggelhaus and 9.9, the 9.9 newsstand. They're coming in right here. So if you're fans of Swaggelhaus or the 9.9 newsstand, be sure to come back tomorrow at the same time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here to join in the conversation with those two fine gents. We're going to be talking about the comic book collecting world over the last 6 months. The year so far, what's been going on, where they think things are going to go as in the latter half of this year. So be sure to come in and jump in and watch that stream. And again, have your questions ready. Hit the subscribe button so you can ask questions to one of those two guys. Again, I'm going to be in Montreal next weekend for the Montreal Comic Con. If you are wanting to meet me, come on over and say hi. You don't have to drop off any books. You don't have to buy anything. Just come over and shake my hand and say hello and introduce yourself. Would love to meet some of my Quebec followers here, subscribers and clients as well. And I'm also going to be offering signature series facilitation. So if you have a book you want to have signed by somebody at the show, an artist or a celebrity, I can help you out with that. I'm going to put details about how you can do that on my website, probably tomorrow. I'm too tired now. I'll probably do that tomorrow or on Facebook as well. And again, Monday, come on by if you're local. I consider anywhere in the GTA local. If you're an hour to an hour and a half away, come on by. Make the drive on Monday, on Canada Day Monday in the morning. So you come early, spend the morning with us, and you can go back home and enjoy the Canada Day festivities with your families. I know I'm going to do that, but in the morning I'm going to spend it with all of you comic nerds, and hopefully you can make it. All right, guys. Dan, any new inventory? Yeah, I have some other stuff I put out, but again, Come on by on the Monday. There'll be a lot of inventory there. Dave says, thanks, Doc. You too, Dave. Brad, he's got some amazing books. Thanks, Brad. Gord, another great show, Doc. You're very welcome, guys. Yeah, so this week is Saturday and Monday. Saturday, 11 until 1. Sorry, 11 till 2, and Monday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Guys, if you wouldn't mind, spread the word about the sale. I would like to make this an annual thing, not like every 3 months, but every year, maybe on Canada Day or on Labor Day, I will do, or I'll do like a summer swap meet. Again, I want it to be like a swap meet. So bring books you want to sell, bring books you want to trade. All these guys are really good dudes. If you've got some fun stuff, maybe you can swap, I call it a swap meet, right? So please do share that with other people. I like to have a good turnout there to make it worth the dealer's times. Otherwise, it won't come back. All right, guys, have a fantastic night. And until next time, my friends, take care. Until tomorrow, I hope, take care. And we'll see you again very, very soon. Until then, ciao. Bye for now.